343 has just given us a ton of information on the upcoming winter update that is releasing on November 8th. The changes they have revealed are game-changing, and there is a lot to unpack here. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, let's discuss the balancing changes presented. They decided to buff the plasma pistol all around. They increased the base damage to 28 from 20, and they increased its guided angular and angular velocities, which basically means that the plasma pistol charge shot will be more accurate at following targets. This was really needed. I always felt like plasma pistols kind of sucked in Halo Infinite. They just always felt pretty useless, so it's nice to see they actually did something about it. Along with the plasma pistol, they decided to buff the pulse carbine, which this gun was even worse. I legitimately think the pulse carbine was the worst gun in Halo Infinite. We'll have to see if these balancing changes make a difference when the winter update comes out. But anyways, they decided to buff the carbine's accuracy at close to medium range while nerfing its long range accuracy. I personally don't understand this because I always saw this gun as extremely weak, so I don't think you need to nerf its long range capability and buff its mid range. I think you could just buff both. But hey, maybe I'm wrong and these changes will improve its performance. Next up, they decided to slightly buff the VK-78 Commando. They decided to make the gun more accurate in closer ranges, which I think this is a fine change. Overall, I feel like the Commando has always been a solid option, but this should help it become slightly more consistent. Now for the battle rifle balancing changes. This one I'm really sad about. They decided to nerf the battle rifle's effectiveness at range while hip firing and made it slightly less accurate. I understand the need for this change. The battle rifle has always been a menace in Halo Infinite, so it's a change that makes sense, but I love the battle rifle. It's honestly my favorite gun in the game. I'm just sad to see it be nerfed. Hopefully this won't hurt it too much, but we'll have to see. Now for the final weapon being changed, the Disruptor. This gun definitely needed a buff, and so they decided to buff it by increasing its magazine size by 2 bullets. I don't know if this will be enough because I personally saw this gun as always being pretty weak, but I'm sure we'll see when we get our hands on it. But on top of the weapon changes, they also decided to nerf grenades by increasing their detonation timer by 0.2 seconds. The point behind this change was to make it more difficult for people to just throw grenades at their feet before they die to force a trade. Honestly, I totally agree with this change. Anything to nerf grenades, I'm happy with. I think Halo Infinite has some of the strongest grenades we've seen in the Halo franchise as a whole, so nerfing them, in my opinion, is a welcome change. To move on from balancing, they're also mixing up the way playlists work in Halo Infinite. To help counteract the dwindling player count, 343 has decided they will be implementing rotational playlist slots. These playlist slots will change once a month and will be filled with Halo Infinite's less popular playlists. Playlists like Team Doubles and Team Snipers will be in the core rotational playlist slot, and playlists like Social Slayer, Big Team Social, and Rumble Pit will be part of the social rotational playlist slot. They also plan to have a ranked rotational playlist slot for playlists like ranked doubles and ranked FFA. Obviously, this is a change that I wish didn't have to exist, but when the game has 3.7k players on Steam at the time of recording, it's expected that changes would have to be made. To be honest, I don't see Halo Infinite's player count ever getting back up to a point where all playlists could be populated, so these changes make sense. They are just disappointing. Now for the changes we are all probably the most excited for, the progression rework. With the release of the winter update, all Battle Pass challenges will be reworked to be significantly better for the player. Challenges will no longer be mode specific. That means every challenge can be completed in every mode. So no more having to leave your friends to go play Last Spartan Standing so you can progress the Battle Pass. Also, challenges will be more, quote, general. I'm assuming what they mean by this is that challenges will be less specific and easier to complete, but I honestly don't know. We don't have any examples of this, so we'll just have to see. Also, I almost forgot to mention that weekly rewards will no longer require you to complete 20 challenges to acquire them. Instead, they will only take 10. All of these changes will hopefully make your life way easier when it comes to grinding the Battle Pass, but it doesn't stop here. They are also implementing a way to earn Battle Pass XP without having to complete challenges at all. You'll get a set amount of XP per match completed, but you'll also get extra XP for winning the match and performing well. It's kind of sad that we are just now getting proper progression a year after launch, and it's only releasing into a beta, but I'm not really surprised at this point. At least playing the game will actually feel somewhat rewarding now. Honestly, these changes on their own are likely going to bring me back to playing this game, and at least these changes didn't get delayed. I was seriously worried about these changes being way later into the season, but they confirmed that they will be coming on November 8th, the release of Season 3. Now, on top of all the changes I've been talking about, we are also getting something the community has been waiting for, and that, my friends, is Forge. We all knew that Forge was supposed to be releasing at some point in the season, but it's nice to know it's actually coming on launch and getting some further details. Leakers have already revealed a ton about Halo Infinite's Forge, and I'm sure I have some playing in the background right now. It looks to be the best Forge we've ever gotten, and even better than Halo 5's, which brought me a ton of fun. I spent hundreds of hours in Halo 5's custom games alone, so hopefully this Forge holds up to the leaks. From what we have been told by 343 directly, it appears you'll be able to do things as big as adding AI to your Forge maps, which is just absolutely unheard of. Hopefully everything releases in a functional state, because if it does, this will be game changing. Now, the one disappointing thing about this is, from what I've read, it appears the custom games browser hasn't been confirmed for November 8th. Now, I could be wrong about this, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, but it appears that it has not been confirmed. This doesn't mean that it won't be coming on November 8th, we just haven't gotten it confirmed. Which, if it doesn't release alongside Forge, that will probably kill this update. Because without Custom Games Browser, then the amount of people that will get to experience the fun of this game's Forge or custom games will be significantly smaller. Also, keep in mind, right now custom games are incredibly buggy. So if nothing is done about that and Custom Games Browser isn't added, then Forge being added really won't matter. Not to mention, if Forge releases buggy, that would also cause the entire addition of it to be pointless. But I hope this update releases smoothly, because it has potential to bring players back into the game. The numbers definitely won't ever make it to what we saw at launch, but I could definitely see Forge doubling the current player count, or even doing more than that. As I mentioned in my previous videos on Halo Infinite, we're also supposed to be getting new maps, equipment, and even a gun. But from what I've heard, these haven't been confirmed to be coming on Season 3's launch, and considering that Season 3 is supposed to last all the way until March 7th, when it's releasing on November 8th, I don't even want to talk about this content anymore until we actually get a confirmed release date. Anyways, do you guys still play Halo Infinite? Because I know I sure don't. If not, does the update look interesting to you? What do you like about it, and what do you dislike about it? Let me know all about it in the comments. I love talking to you guys about this kind of stuff, so just let me know your opinions on the new update. Also, you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, you should consider subscribing, because I'm trying to hit 3K subs by the end of the year, and your sub could make a difference in me hitting that goal or not. However, if I haven't earned your sub yet, that is totally fine. You can go check out this video, and hopefully it will change your mind. I'll see you next time, friends, and peace.